Hey, look who's here. It's great seeing you again, and I'm glad you could make it. You're actually just in time, too. We were getting ready to talk about my general shooting impressions of my CZ75 SP-01 Shadow Custom now that I had a chance to actually get some rounds through it. As you might recall in our previous discussion where I compared the short reset trigger system in the CZ installed by the CZ Custom Shop to one of my other all-time favorite double-action, single-action, semi-automatic pistol triggers, the Sig Sauer SRT in my P226 tactical operations. That comparison was based almost entirely on dry firing. Sure, I've got a ton of rounds through the P226, but my round count in the CZ was absolutely zero, right? Not a zilch, goose eggs. And as you may or may not remember, my whole reasoning behind buying this particular model of the CZ75 was because earlier in the year I had made the decision to further develop and extend my pistol skills, I would pursue participation in the International Defensive Pistol Association competitions, or IDPA. And I went through a lot of trial and error with different platforms, shooting a lot of different guns, trying to get a sense of what pistol or what platform I wanted to take with me or use as a tool in that pursuit. And as it turns out, I didn't have a lot of luck with a lot of the more popular guns out there. I mean, I did really well with the Glock, and I love my 1911s, but it didn't take me long to settle on the CZ75. I've always wanted one, and on this model in particular. But I picked up the pistol midweek, and my first opportunity to use it for its intended purpose was coming up that Saturday, just a few short days away. And before I knew it, it was Friday, and I hadn't yet shot the pistol at all. Now, this was going to be my second ever IDPA match and my inaugural run with the CZ75, so even though I'm sure it was going to function, I wasn't quite comfortable walking into a match cold with a brand new pistol. So that Friday night, I grabbed a couple friends and met a couple other friends down at a local indoor range and attempted to put the pistol through its paces 200 or so times. Now, I have some footage from that, and I want to share that with you. But generally speaking, my experience was really positive. Again, my whole point of doing this was just to run the gun, make sure that the equipment that I had, the pistol, the magazines it shipped with 3, and the ammo that I had on hand, which was Remington UMC 115 grain round nose full metal jackets. Notable maybe for their shorter overall length than a lot of other factory loads. I want to make sure all of that would harmonize and function well together. So we got to the range, and the majority of my shooting, I have some footage I want to queue up actually of what really the majority of my shooting looked like. So let me get that video here. Okay, in this video I have 2 magazines loaded to their maximum advertised capacity of 18. I guess theoretically they could take 19, but it was kind of a struggle, so I left it at 18. And I fired with varying degrees of quickness at center mass on a silhouette target at 7 yards. Again, just running the gun, making sure the magazines worked. I wasn't really focusing on a world-class grip or stance, and I wasn't trying to beat any speed records or execute the world's fastest mag change. It was just really running the gun, center mass, on the silhouette, 7 yards. There's some double taps, some triple taps, but most importantly, at least at this point, I was having a great time. The gun shoots really well. It's easy, it's easy on the hands. I had no failures to feed, no failures to eject. All the ejections, in fact, were consistently out of my face, which is great. And what you'll see from the results here is that, as far as my shooting was concerned, 34 of the 36 shots I fired were either on or in the 10 ring, with 2 flyers in the 9 ring, and a really good concentration of shots, just a little bit right of dead center on that bullseye. I should probably take this opportunity to tell you that I'm not that good of a shot. I think everybody who shoots with me, all my friends, they'll tell you that I'm pretty decent with a pistol, but I didn't expect to shoot that well, and frankly, often I don't, especially given the fact that I was doing, several double taps, several triple taps, and just generally firing fairly quickly. But this pistol really encourages fast shooting. How does it encourage that? It stays on target. I mean, there's very little muzzle flip. If you go back and look at that video, you'll see the muzzle doesn't really move much at all, and I wasn't really wasn't really super ultra prepared for that. I was, again, function testing the pistol, and it just produced fantastic results. And I wasn't the only person who had that sort of experience. There was 5 of us that shot it that night, and we're talking about shooters with varying levels of experience, a pretty wide variety of hand sizes, and about as wide as they get, really. And both genders were represented as well, and everybody who walked away from this pistol had a great experience with it and noted how easy it shot, how easy it shot well, and how they had shot better than they expected. And that's really, to me, the hallmark of this pistol, is that it sort of elevates your shooting. It made me look like a better shooter than I am. But I was so encouraged by the accuracy that I had in that relatively rapid fire test that I thought I'd do a little bit more pointed test of its point of aim, point of impact, and I have that video here as well, so let me cue that up. In this test, I shot at the very same target. I pushed it right back out to 7 yards. Instead of shooting at center mass, I was shooting at the top 8 in the 8 ring, and it was really, deliberate fire. Every time I felt really comfortable that I had the same point of aim, I tried to ease that trigger back. And if I had any difficulty at all during this string of fire, it was easing that trigger back. Not because it's difficult, quite the opposite. It's so easy to shoot this pistol that, generally speaking, by the time you're thinking of shooting, you've already shot and are probably working on your second follow-up shot. So, it was really easy to shoot, and I was kind of excited here when I bring this results back. What you'll see is that all of my shots were in one ragged hole, again, just a little bit right of where I was aiming, but a tight group, consistent, tight group. And I wasn't shooting from a bench. I was standing. I wasn't, there was no rest. It was just me and my grip and the gun. Granted, it was only 7 yards, but the contrast of that 8 on the black wasn't great. The lighting looks better in the video than it actually felt that night, and my vision's not so awesome either. I actually have a laundry list of other excuses if you want to hear them, but the main takeaway here is that the gun is super accurate. Now, that rightness that I exhibited in both of these videos, I attribute that until someone can prove to me conclusively that it's not me. I'm just going to assume that's me. It could be a number of things. It could be my vision. It could be, most likely, it's me probably pulling the trigger a little bit, getting used to that, different trigger reach than what I'm accustomed to. It's not a long trigger reach. It's just different than what I've been shooting. First time on the platform, and I was probably pulling it a little bit right, but consistently so, and the gun behaved accordingly. It shot consistently as well. I guess the takeaway of the whole evening is that I had absolutely zero concerns bringing this pistol, this ammo, into an IDPA match. And I don't have any footage of that IDPA match, but we'll save that discussion for next time, I think. In the meantime, my future plans for this pistol, of course, include more IDPA matches and a lot of time just getting used to the manual of arms. But I think my next range visit will be to my standard range, which doesn't allow any rapid fire business, but also is a little bit better lit, and provides a greater variety of targets to shoot at. So I'll try to do a good range and a good accuracy test at 7, 15, and 25 yards, and then we can talk about that too. Anyway, I couldn't be happier with this pistol. It's a phenomenal experience. It shoots, it's really well behaved, very tame in the hand, and it really encourages you to shoot fast and reward you for doing it. Anyway, that's it for now. We should get together again soon and talk about it, perhaps next year maybe. I hope you all shoot often and shoot safely, but most importantly, have a great new year. Good luck. Hope to talk to you soon.